Good afternoon, Shane.
Buenos tardes, mi amiga.
Oh my gosh, this has been a long time coming. And look, my lips are moving with
Oh yeah, you finally
in
got it fixed.
sync. Yeah, it's like the devil was trying. Didn't want us to be. They don't want us to do good. He
They
doesn't.
don't want us
Yeah,
to
he
be
wants to
great.
fail. We
No,
want to be great. No, no,
haters,
no.
haters
Yep,
everywhere.
yep. So good afternoon. It's Tuesday, September. I mean, not September, October 24th. And I was
Sadly,
thinking I
half
had something to
September.
do by the end of the month, but I was like, I have another week or so. No, I don't.
Man, the month is over.
It's
October moved
over.
fast, boy. October moved with some purpose. It was in and out, bro.
It did, and Beanie's getting ready to bark. I don't know why. Don't do it. Don't do it, Beanie. So this month has been like whatever. All right, who are we? Before I forget.
Oh wow, look at you. Now, so who are we? We are two seasoned, uncensored corporate veterans who are here to pass along the wisdom we received from lessons learned in hopes that you don't make the same mistakes that we did. But if for some reason you get a little antsy, you get a little froggy, you decide to fuck up, hopefully you can laugh while you're doing it. Because we're
Oh
not
my
laughing at you, we're
gosh.
laughing with you because it's a
We are
choice.
laughing with we are not we are definitely not laughing at you. That's for sure.
It
I'm
is
trying
a
to
choice.
get this. I want to be higher. I want to be Oh, that won't make me higher though. Never mind. All right, I'm going to turn my thing off for a minute. Anyway, so I mean it's Tuesday, so I mean I guess I don't know how your weekend was. Mine was busy helping my sister pack her 23 years worth of stuff to move it to her deluxe apartment in the sky.
23 years worth of stuff.
20
That's a lot of
I
shit.
don't think in 23 years she got rid of one thing.
That's a lot of 23 years is a long time to just have stuff. You get real comfortable with which rooms you can just throw stuff into. Ain't nobody going in that room. I'm just throw
Right.
this down and that. Oh, ugh. Packing
Yep,
up,
those chickens
unpacking the
are
house.
those
Ooh,
chickens are coming home to
my
roost, or
God.
they came home to roost with stuff like secret compartments. I mean, she had body. There could have been bodies buried. There was a closet down. I'm not. She's gonna be mad at me, but there was a closet in her spare bedroom down in her on her second level, and it had a giant, like, you went through the closet door and you went through another door,
Oh
and it was a
wow,
whole
that's
space.
and
And
she has
then
stuff in
today,
that space.
and then
Woo,
today I was talking to her, and because
that's
the
efficient.
movers came yesterday, and there was another space. There was a crawl space under the chair, under the stairs from that room as well. I said the house could have that shit. The house could have it. I'm like,
The
here
house
is
can keep
yours.
it.
That is my offering to you,
The house
house.
can keep it.
Like whatever. But she and her nephew were going through that stuff today. But man, I mean, oh
I've
gosh,
seen
it
people do
was
that when they move out of houses. They're like, "Fuck it, I'm just leave the attic full of shit because I'm not going through all that."
yes,
What,
things went into my attic to die.
whatever's in the attic can have
It
it.
could have it. Yep. Like I had one kid, and all
Uh,
the like the stroller and stuff went up in the attic. When I had another kid, I was like, I don't want that stuff. It can
no,
have it. It can have it. I'll take some new stuff. Oh, yeah, because I wouldn't pack it properly, and yeah, things go. And our attic is, you got to go up some steps and pull it on the ladder, go up a step. Nope, it could have it. So what's all right? So what's going on?
I don't
What's
know.
going on in the world?
You
I
see,
turned the
NBA
news on
season's getting
yesterday.
ready to start.
Oh, it is. Is it start in
Yes.
November or
No,
October?
October NBA season starts tomorrow. Wait,
Oh,
no, today's
okay.
Tuesday. NBA
Yeah,
season starts tonight, my
it
guy.
starts tonight.
Oh yes. Shout out to the NBA season. I'm so happy.
Oh, that's
I
well.
like
Jackson has tryouts this week. Um, tryouts.
good
Right.
job.
Yeah. So
You got
yesterday,
it.
yeah, yesterday, and he got up this morning. He got up early yesterday. Got a shake today. Got up early. Got a shake. So prayerfully, everything will go well. And they'll have a great season. I know they went to the playoffs last. They went to the playoffs last year. So prayerfully, he'll make it. And they'll have a great season. Yeah. So, um, so do all. Well, I guess clearly all teams don't play at the same time or whatever. They don't all start today.
I
What
mean,
games are today?
let me see. I think no, all the big teams are playing today, of course, because they want to draw
Oh,
everyone
they
in.
are. Oh, because they want
Yeah,
people to.
so
Okay.
of course, yeah. So today we have Lakers and Nuggets at 7:30, and then at 10 o'clock we have the Warriors and the Suns.
Oh, okay. I was wondering why the WNBA, like they already had their I was like, "That seems early,"
Yeah, they have
but
their
I guess
season, their playoffs and stuff are done during the summertime, and they just had their championship game last week, so
and
they're all wrapped
is
up.
New York and but who won though?
The Aces.
Or is that Las Vegas? Who was that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
uh-huh.
okay, alright, see, I know a little bit.
There
Okay,
you go.
just a little bit. So, okay. So, I turned on the news last night. I don't know why. I usually try not to watch the news, especially the new local news because it is yeah, it's just gut-wrenching. I turned on ABC News with David Muir, and I was like, before it started, I was like, I just heard the previews. I was prepared. They should say prepare to be traumatized. Like, but it was like a train that was derailed. I couldn't turn away, and I
Yeah,
watched
it'd
it.
be
I didn't
like
watch it
that.
all. I paused it a bit because I was doing other stuff or getting calls and kind of paused it. But there's just so much. There's so much bad stuff in the news. So and let's kind of skip over that. And
Mm,
talk
so
about the most I won't say the most pressing thing, but the fact that the government that the Senate can't or the Congress can't operate without a Speaker of the House. And we can talk about that shit show, I guess. So
yeah, the government is doing what the government do.
it's
I
government
think it
too.
should. Yeah, I think shit show is probably the best way to describe what the fuck goes on in our
Hmm.
government. Because what else do you call it? You know, like what else do you call them? Not actually governing people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, very little is done. Beanie, stop it. Sorry. He's not gonna worry me. Very little is done in Congress. And so just to kind of start off with something because it's about to come up. Daylight savings. Weren't you under the impression that this will be the last one? That we
I
weren't doing that
heard that they were
anymore?
in after last year. I heard that they were going to shut that shit down.
Well, you guess what? They
They're
couldn't
not.
Congress couldn't decide. And Joe didn't do a
Executive order.
yes. So nope. We're gonna keep on with this bullshit where it's 5 o'clock and it's dark, earlier than that in the on the East Coast.
Facts.
I was like, this is gonna be our last one. And then I Googled it. I was like,
No.
they're like, no, it's not gonna be our last one because they can't do anything. They can't do something as easy as that. And why was it started for farmers? Like now, farming, we already talked about that. That's industrial. They don't care about the daylight.
Not at all. You can keep pumping out animal carcasses whenever you need to.
Right.
You don't need light to
So it's
do
not
it.
even for farmers anymore.
No,
It's
I
like, who's
mean
it for?
a lot of this stuff is so fluffy, and then when you think about it, it's really fucked up. Like even down to like electric batteries and shit. I was watching a video talking about how you're trying to turn the like trucking industry electric, right?
Okay.
And the cost, the electric cost of
Like
trying to
turn it
turn,
electric, like have electric
yeah,
vehicles,
electric
electric
semi
trucks.
trucks, yeah,
Okay.
to have electric semi trucks,
Hmm.
right? To just set up a facility that these trucks can come in there and charge and function out of is
Okay.
like a 5 megawatt type city. And to put that in perspective, it's basically the charge to the amount of electricity needed in this one facility is equal to the amount of electricity you need to power an entire city grid, right? Like
Okay.
it's not efficient at all. None of these things are efficient, right? And it's just do your research on these things. Just like, the did you know portion of things.
Right.
Did you know that the cost of the factory, the environmental cost that the factory imprints on the earth to create electric cars is worse than if you just had a regular automobile in general?
Really?
Like people like these the batteries that are made, the inhumane ways in which this material is collected,
Hmm.
much less the amount of pollution that the factories use to create
Oh my
these electric cars
gosh.
and electric batteries.
They
In
may as
no
well do the
way, shape,
water thing. The
they
water
make
thing though would if we could do the hydrogen thing that
they
was
haven't figured out quite yet how to monetize that completely, and so
oh.
because then how do you
I don't know
regulate
why
people?
we pay for something that comes from the land.
But how do you regulate people using water?
They
Because
pay for how they regulate how we drink it.
I know, but they can't figure out how to make money off of it in the cars because then I can just fill up my car from my tap. like
Well, they would
people
put a
in the
sort then they would put a surcharge, or there would be a charge on the if you did it from your tap, then
yeah, there
it
might
would
be extra
come a
charge.
lot more money.
Exactly. They got to figure out what kind of molecules they can put into this special kind of water that can only be at gas stations or water stations from now on. Where
Right,
you
versus
can't
you can
use regular
drink.
tap water.
Yeah.
Exactly. They got to figure out how to screw with it a little bit to be able to monetize it.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Because
Yeah,
otherwise, there
that's
goes $1 trillion industry. The whole gas. I mean, you got to understand that
heaven forbid if they give us one thing, you know what I
there's
mean?
people who sit at the top. There's a man and men and leaders and folks who sit on top of these $1 trillion industries who live a very luxurious lifestyle that has been cemented for generations, and they are not easily going to hand this over to us just so we can have water engines and water cars and be in a more safe, environmentally safe planet. They don't give a fuck about the planet being environmentally safe. They care about their yachts and their power, and they're
Right,
not
because
giving
they're
a
like, when this is done, we'll go to the next planet. That's what
damn.
they're gonna do.
Exactly. Like they already
We'll
got their
go to
seat
the we're
reserved
already
to
going
fly
to
to
the moon,
Mars.
so yeah.
Yeah, they are not trying to figure out how to make your life easier. They're trying to figure out how to make sure their pockets stay fat. Because with all, here's the thing that always kills me. With all the
Mhm.
gas prices going up, you've never once, ever heard a report saying the oil and petroleum industry had a bad year. You've never heard them say the oil and petroleum industry took a loss this year. It's never been reported that
Right.
their profits are down. Never. They
And
are
just to say, to piggyback on that, I have a friend of mine who, like, in pharma, everything is slow, right? Everything is slow. So I was talking to a former colleague of mine, and she works for a pipeline company. And I was like saying how slow it was. She was like, "Oh no, all my recruiters have like 20 to 30 recs.
yeah, they not they
They're
are they've
hella
never
busy."
yeah, they've never felt a loss in years. Their profits just get bigger and bigger and bigger. Like
Mhm.
they're making the profit margin bigger so their pockets can be bigger or whatever.
But you know who's suffering though? Because there was a guy who commented on one of our posts before, and he works in pipeline, like works like this the oil refinery,
Yeah.
like off the Gulf, and he was saying he's like basically, went from being middle class, being able to now to be like, working two jobs and stuff. So that person that does that front end worker is suffering, but the
He's suffering
industry
while
is
his
not.
leader, exactly, while his leader is still making hand over foot profits. The person who
Right.
worked with him is suffering because
Right.
they're raising their prices, which means all the other prices got to get raised, right? So people don't
Mhm.
understand how this industry works. So even if you just raise the gas prices on things, raising oil prices and gas prices means that these boats and liners that take all these supplies all around the world, they got to raise their price of expenses because then they got to pay more to transport this stuff all around the world, which
Right.
means the people who transport the trucks and use the trucks got to pay more for gas to transport the stuff all around the world, which means the manufacturers of these things got to pay more in expenses to these companies that transport their stuff, which means our prices get raised higher. All the while, these fuckers at the top of the oil and petroleum industry are just making hand over fist profit. Like
Hand over fist.
they are chilling while
Printing
every
money.
printing money. Their children and
Uh-oh, you're frozen. Uh-oh, Shane. You are frozen. All right.
there we
You
go.
you were and there used to be a way to pause, and now maybe it does end and stops. I don't know if it starts again. There's a way. I couldn't. It's not showing up. Oh, there it is. The pause button. Shit.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
No,
All
that's no
right. Go ahead.
problem.
Finish that.
Yeah, I was
Finish
just
that
saying
thought.
these their children are the future equestrians of America, you know? The wealth gap is serious and the wealth gap continues to be there. So
Yep.
if you have you have an idea, pursue your idea. Because that's the only way you're gonna close the wealth gap. Working for people are not you're not gonna ever close the wealth gap working for other
Nope.
people.
Nope. Because
Yeah,
remember back in the day, I think the CEOs made like what 10 to 15 times more than the lowest paid
yeah.
worker. And now,
Now that
please.
shit is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's it's ridiculous. Yeah, and then when you fail at your job as a CEO, you get the golden parachute and they give you millions of dollars to go away. So,
Yeah, CEOs they can right now they're saying it 3 is 400 to 1, basically. It's 400 to 1. In 1989, it was 59 to 1. In 1965, it was 20 to 1, right?
Mhm.
So we go from 20 to 1 pay. So every dollar you
To
make, your CEO makes $20.
right.
Now, for every dollar you make, your CEO makes $400. Do the math.
Yeah, that's and that
Do the math.
$400 an hour? Like, is that
I mean,
how's that or 400 times?
yeah. So basically, this was a report by the Economic Policy Institute that
Mhm.
was released in last year.
Okay.
And it was just saying that CEOs make 400 times as much as a
Yeah, 400
typical
times.
worker.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Not.
Yeah, go from 20 to 1 to 400 to 1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and what has really changed? You know what I
nothing.
mean?
What's changed is that folks who are in leadership positions
Mhm.
promoted their nepotistic individuals into other positions. And then those people got into higher paying roles and they decided that they never wanted to be lower paying like everyone else. And so then they raised the gap a little bit more of what CEOs should be paying. And then other CEOs went to other companies, were like, I was making this at another company. And so now they have to match that pay and
Mhm.
increase the pay over there. And so folks just got more greedy because there's no reason why the gap should have been that dramatically increased in the last, what, the 50 years to go.
Right, they're not doing that
Yeah, they're not doing
much
50.
more.
Then yeah,
On the
then go from 20 to 1 to 400 to 1. They are not doing 200 times more work
right.
now than they did back in 1965. I've ventured to say they're probably doing less work now than they did in 1965. I'd say
Mhm.
the CEO role now is probably more strategic than it's ever been.
Right.
CEOs ain't getting on the floor. They ain't punching nothing into
No.
no manufacturing anything. They're not rolling up their sleeves, none of that shit. Not at all. They're jet setting and taking Zoom meetings.
Yep, and then telling everybody else be in the office.
Telling everybody to be in the office. Mad when we were virtual.
I'll tell you, I mean, I'm not gonna name any names. I will on the I may on the Patreon version, but I was talking to a good friend of mine the other day, and she was saying that their senior leader, like the leader, like for their group, is telling them to be in the office. Like they went from being in 3 days a week to that person telling them to come in every day. Everybody who was local, because everybody's not local, right?
Right.
Let's say the handful of people that were local that come in every day
Shit.
from with set hours.
That would be a problem for me.
And if you couldn't be there to to let him know, send him an email, send him a text, a
Makes sense.
VP,
Ask
send a
him when
V,
he's gonna be in the office.
right? Send a VP a text to tell
Yeah.
them like that.
When
He
is
doesn't
the
have
VP
more.
gonna
He doesn't
be
have
here?
better things to do
Than to worry about who's
than
coming in the office.
and to take and to talk about it, like the texts or the emails. Like, what? You don't have anything else better to do?
It's the gall of the C-suite. Y'all been virtual. Y'all been virtual before being virtual was a thing. C-suite
Mhm.
been virtual. C-suite ain't never been in the same office as everyone else. C-suite will fly in, have a meeting, fly right the fuck back out.
Yep.
C-suite was in, and now, and what's crazy is like C-suite's been operating like this for years. But when we operate like this, now it's a problem. Now it's, can you really work well? Is it really promoting a good culture?
Yeah.
Motherfucker, was it a promoting culture when you was doing it?
Well, part of that, you know what it is. They've invest all this money in these
Oh, these
buildings, and
buildings.
yeah, and they're
Oh
like,
my
I
gosh,
can't
they're
have
just
them
sitting there.
sitting empty. Like last year when we went to, you
Yeah,
know,
when we went on site,
and
most
it looked like
definitely.
an apocalyptic playground. It was like, and like looking out like at that Connect Four
Yeah,
and
that thing
that
was sad.
cornhole,
It just
and
needed
then
like a little shrubbery to bounce across the
yeah,
yard.
I was waiting to see a zombie run across the yard. Like it was unreal. I'm like, yeah, no way they're gonna have all this state of the art stuff laying dormant. No, they need some people.
Yeah, they're gonna force people to come back in because they
Hmm.
had the whole cafeteria. I mean, they
Right,
invested a lot of money into these buildings, but what's more important, the building or the company morale? I think that's the
right.
question that we have to ask because no one wants to come in the office.
No,
Like, there's no way you can tell people who've been working efficiently for the last 3 years
right.
that in order to continue to work efficiently, you have to
You
do it in
need,
the office.
yeah,
What the fuck? Well, I've been doing
right.
it.
Yeah. That same friend I talked to yesterday, and she's like, they're in the office 3 days a week. But I was like, but you guys weren't in the office at all during COVID. So why would you go back to that same manufacturing mindset? But again, probably, they got this building sitting.
Overhead, exactly.
They
They're
can't have
signing
it.
these 5, 10 year leases, and they can't just
Right.
have the building sitting there
Now I
bare
know
bones.
a friend of mine who was at Marriott. They let go. They sold some of their stuff, let go of leases. You know what I
That
mean?
would be a
Just
smart thing to
yeah.
do.
Mhm.
Save money, break the
Yep.
lease, pay whatever fines you got to pay, keep your employees happy. Because in the long run, you're saving money. Your
Right.
overheads are going to drop down dramatically.
Right.
But I think a lot of people also it's ego, right? You want to have for a long time in corporate America, that was the thing. Your big shiny office, the big shiny building,
Mhm.
the large windows overlooking the city or whatever the case may be. That's what, that was the flex of the C-suite is how nice their office building is.
Right.
Now nobody want to come in the office.
No, like, whatever. I don't care what you got there, other than Jesus being there.
I don't care. The cafeteria, I don't care. I got a
I
fridge and a
don't
stove.
care.
The
Right. I
gym, it's
don't
okay.
care.
I could go to my local membership.
Right, because that's where
You
they want you to
good.
live, right? You know what
That
I mean?
yo, they built these campuses to
Mhm.
hold you there. They
Mhm.
and one of the old companies
Daycare for
here in
your
North
kids.
daycare
Come and
for the
yep.
kids. They would have
Mhm.
daycare for the kids. They had masseuses on site. One company here in
Mhm.
North Carolina who,
Laundry,
man, they
do
did
you want
everything.
dry cleaners,
Gym,
everything.
they wanted you to live on,
Yep.
literally live on it. They would even
Yep.
have, in some organization, when it's first to having sleeping capsules, they would have like
What?
nap suites. Yeah, you can go take a nap. You can go take a
Jeez.
nap in those nap
Go refresh, spray
capsules
some water on your face, and get
and
on
get back
back.
to work.
Get back
Exactly.
to it.
Get back to it.
Mhm.
Just whatever we can do to keep you here on site as long as possible.
Yep.
And now folks are like, I can do all this shit at home in my drawers. And yeah, I'd rather be home.
Especially people like, in like computer science, engineering type roles,
My God. And
programmers. Like,
statisticians.
yeah.
My God. Why would you ever leave the house? You have to do nothing. Nothing. It does not require. It requires so little interpersonal interactions.
Yeah, and it shows.
They do not, yo. They do not need to interact with people at all. Just send them the
No.
data. They will analyze it, crunch it, put it into
Mhm.
Excel spreadsheet, send it back to you. There's no need for those folks to come in the office.
None. No need whatsoever. So, all right, what else? What else were we gonna talk about? I'm not even gonna talk about war stuff because it's awful. We've already said how awful it is. So, um, all right, so something good basketball. We got to do the Oreo. So we did something good basketball, bad
Man, for bad for me.
salaries, good. Let's do the
You know,
Oreo.
I was so I like F1 racing, F1 Formula One
Formula
racing.
One.
And this weekend was a great Formula One race. They had their in Texas, the Grand
Okay.
Prix in Texas. And it was coming down to the final lap with Lewis Hamilton, who is a
Yeah, he's a cutie.
black, yeah, he's a black dude from
Oh, you
the
agree he's cute?
yeah, I think he's a good looking man.
Yeah, he's
I
cute.
can see the appeal.
Mm-hmm.
And he's lauded as one of the greatest F1 drivers in the history of the sport.
Really?
hmm
Okay,
And
cool.
then there's Max Verstappen, who's like this new hotshot who's been like really doing this thing these last couple of years.
Mhm.
And Verstappen, he's won like 10, 11 races in a row this year. He was cutting up. He's having a
Okay.
great year. The Red Bull,
Is he of color?
no, he's a white guy. His
Okay.
name is Max Verstappen.
Oh yeah. Okay. That doesn't mean anything. Could be.
And
His mama could be black.
yeah, so Red Bull, Max drives for Red Bull, Lewis
Okay.
drives for Mercedes. Red Bull's had built a great car this year, so they've been doing things.
Okay.
Anyway, so we're in the final lap, and Lewis Hamilton is closing on Max Verstappen.
Okay.
In terms of F1, Verstappen had a 4 second lead on Lewis. He's been having
Okay.
some trouble with his braking coming around the corners, so
Okay.
now Lewis has closed it down to a 1.5 second gap, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so in F1 racing, when you are behind a car, you can activate this thing called DRS, which is like a drag resistant system. It allows you to get more speed. Basically, use
You
the car
use
in
the
front of
drag,
you
like their
exactly
velocity or
to
whatever.
give yourself a little bit
When
more.
okay.
And so there's a car that was driving hella slow
Okay.
that they're basically the last person in the race. And so Verstappen is coming up on them. Now, instead of them moving out the way, so
Which is
they're
how
not
you should,
involved,
right?
right? They
Is-
stay right in front of
Was there
Verstappen
a wreck?
so he could lose, so he could use the DRS coming off that car to
Okay.
slingshot around and stretch out his gap over Lewis Hamilton and come out for the victory. In reality, that car should move the fuck out the way and let the race be
Oh.
finished by
But just
Verstappen
one-on-one,
and
just
one-on-one,
clear, right,
exactly.
yeah.
No, he stood there and let Max use his DRS to get around him and put
Oh, so is that
I ain't saying that Zhao Ganyu is
from where?
racist and wanted to make sure the black man didn't win. That's what it felt like to me.
But if racism was a
If
person
racism was a race car driver, he would be right there in front of him, making sure that Lewis Hamilton could
because it's
not
not like
catch
you
Max
don't know this.
Verstappen.
It's not like this well-kept secret, right? Everybody knows this, right?
Exactly. We all know it. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows because and here's what's even funny is as they were going through the cars, Lewis and Max, because they're just so far ahead of everybody else, they had to
Mhm.
pass another car who was driving slow as well. They lapped somebody else, and that person just moved out the way. That
Right.
person slowed down, moved out the way, so they would have no interference with the race at all. But this Zhao Ganyu from China stood in his spot and allowed Max to use his DRS to slingshot around him and extend the gap. And I ain't saying that the Chinese got a history of racism against black folks, but
A
they do.
Chinese race car driver.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah, he
okay.
drives for
Romeo.
Romero. Yeah, and so
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
that was a little for the race this weekend because it was set up to
Oh,
be an amazing finish because Lewis was walking. Oh, he was walking Max down. I was like, oh, this gonna come right down to the finish line, like right down to the finish line.
wow.
But no,
What was the
no.
purse?
I don't even know what the purse was this
Oh,
weekend.
okay. So I'm assuming the dude from what's his name? The dude that
Zhao Ganyu.
Zhao maybe got a little bonus or got a little
I'm
bump.
sure. I'm sure. I'm sure Zhao got a handshake at the end
Yeah,
of the
like
race. Exactly. Good looking, my guy. Good looking.
wow. Is there and there's no rule that
Nah, because like technically he didn't do anything wrong,
right,
but
but even like
technically,
that's how it should be on like when you're on the highway, right? You're in
yeah,
the fast lane. People,
are
polite
coming,
people
move out
get
the
out of the
way.
way.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it. It's just like being in the highway. When you see
No,
the
these
fast car,
people don't understand the rules of the highway. They don't
just
understand that's an actual law, like a rule that
get out
if
the
you're
way.
the left side, the left lane is for is for fast lane, and it in the you know what I mean, and you pass
You
someone.
pass in the left.
Yes,
Yeah. You pass on
you
the left. That's
pass.
the
Yeah,
rules.
pass on the left. Don't pass all over zigzag, and you pass on the left. Like
Yo, Atlanta got the wildest videos of folks zigzagging through the roads. I always see like those crazy driving clips, and it's always in Atlanta.
they're
Always
real.
somebody in the
We
Dodge
saw somebody
Charger.
the other day. My sister and I saw somebody the other day. We were like on Saturday. We're like, what the hell? Zip, zip, zip. There was one a couple weeks ago. It was on the connector, so it was downtown. The traffic was not going that fast. They went in and in. They hit another car, and that car flipped like this.
Listen, man, yo, them young boys in Atlanta need to take a breath.
Yeah,
Calm down, homies.
they're idiots. It's not just them though. It's regular people that just can't drive who are in a rush to get where. Like, and then you get to the light if you're in regular traffic, and there you look over, there's that same like hello. Oh, you're not there. You're not where you were trying to go already. But please believe, if you're in a rush, get into an accident, that's not going to get you there any faster.
Now I wonder how those same persons would fare if they were driving on the Autobahn in Germany. Right?
There's a there's a speed limit on the autobahn.
It's a very high speed limit on the
It's
Autobahn.
70. Back
No,
in the
it's not.
day, yes, it was. When I was there in the 90s, it was 70. It was like whatever kilometers equal 70. I don't know what it is now, but there's a speed limit. So, but there wasn't a lot of
I
traffic.
know. So here's the rule. So the German government recommends that a maximum speed limit be 130 kph or about 80 miles per hour
That
on the
it's gonna
Autobahn.
yeah, I was there in 90. I was on Autobahn in like 96. So we
But
drove from Germany to Paris.
but drivers are free to go as fast as they want.
But they're respectful.
You are free to go as fast as you want in the de-restricted sections of the Autobahn.
Right.
Yes, as fast as you can go. So yeah,
And
so
we
you
didn't
can
see anybody being crazy. Just you know what I mean? We just saw people, we were all moving. But you know the cool thing, like when you go on road trips with your kids and you look for like play punch buggy, you look for different things. We played spot the castle.
was there a lot of
There's a
castles in
castle.
Germany?
Oh hell yeah, there's a castle. There's a castle, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah. There's a castle.
I think there's supposed to be like some really cool castles here in the US as well. That
Really?
people don't really that
Oh,
people don't really
where?
talk about much. And these castles look just like the castles that you would see in I guess Europe, you can say,
Well,
and
the
whatnot.
Disney Castle's based off of a castle in Germany. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah.
Yeah, so there's the Belvedere Castle in New York.
Okay.
which is pretty much in the middle of Central Park. There's Scotty's Castle in California. William Walter E. Scott was a con man and a gold prospector who
Okay.
hustled people out their money, and he built the castle from it. The Lolani Palace in Hawaii. There's a Brennan Castle in New York. Castello di Amarosa in California.
Really? Oh.
Montezuma Montez Montezuma Castle in
Mhm.
Arizona, which is kind of built
To the
into the wall. It's kind
Oh,
of cool.
wow.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
built into a cliff. It's a 20-room castle on a cliff. It's 800 years old. There's the Lindenhurst Mansion in New York, which is another huge castle.
Okay.
Hearst Castle in California.
Mhm. Is
Bolt
that considered a
Castle.
castle? Okay.
Yeah, Hearst Castle. It was built by newspaper mogul William Randolph Hearst.
Mhm.
And then there is the Bolt Castle in New York, which is really cool looking. This might be my favorite one of all. That's really cool looking. The Smithsonian Institute building, which is a castle in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, that's neat.
Font Hill Castle in Pennsylvania. Did you ever been to that one?
Well, no, never heard of it.
No. Biltmore Estate in North Carolina. I think that
Yeah.
might want to be one of the most famous castles because everyone
Yeah.
comes around
People
here to
go
go see
there.
Biltmore.
Mhm.
Yeah. The Breakers.
I've been there. I was gonna say, were you gonna say the Breakers?
Yep, built by
Mhm.
the Vanderbilts
Yep, that's in,
in Rhode Island.
Newport. Newport. Newport is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I've walked along the thing and seen the capers. I mean, the
There's a
breakers in the back.
Bishop's Palace in Texas. This
Okay.
is in Galveston.
Mhm.
Built by a lawyer and an entrepreneur, a railroad entrepreneur, Colonel Walter Grisham. Built that one. Clark Tower in Iowa. Look at Iowa coming through Midwest.
Iowa.
hmm It's
Okay.
a really lame one though. It's a 25-foot limestone castle.
It's lame.
It's lame as fuck compared to all these other ones. The
Where's
Trube House
that?
in Texas as well. This one is in Galveston. Damn, Galveston got two castles. Okay. Castle in the Clouds in New Hampshire.
Hmm.
There's Bluebird's Castle in the Virgin Islands on St. Thomas.
Oh, wow. Okay. I've never
I
been
didn't
to
even
St.
realize
Thomas.
that was a castle. Oh shit, that's what's up. Castle Williams. They ran out of creativity to come up with the names for that one.
Castle
Castle
William.
Williams is on Governor's Island in New York.
Okay.
Boston University Castle, of course, in Boston, Massachusetts.
Mhm.
Joliet Castle in Connecticut. Lambert Castle in New Jersey. Knapp's Castle in California. Singer Castle in New York. Morningside
Castles.
Castle in New York. What the fuck? Why does New York have so many
Because
castles?
the barons.
Oh shit. That's crazy. The
Mhm.
Victoria Beach Pirate Tower in
They all
California.
mimicked that society, all mimicked European society. So they lived in homes that were as big as castles and had staff and behaved.
That
Um,
makes so much sense. You got the Hovenwhip Castle in Utah, which is basically kind of all broken down by now. Castle Gould in New York again. God damn, New York has a lot of castles. And then that's cute. They listed the Cinderella Castle in Florida.
oh, oh, Disney. Oh, they listed that one. Okay, so the original castle is called Neuschwanstein,
Mm.
Neuschwanstein, and it is in Germany.
Oh, so it's based
Um,
off a real castle.
yeah, the castle's in oh gosh,
Oh,
Haschen-Schwangau. It's in Bavaria, but it's in Bavaria basically, and it was built in order of King Ludwig II, and is the inspiration for Disney's Cinderella Castle. It's beautiful. It looks like when there's fog, it always looks like it's just floating on clouds, like so. It's beautiful, but they're not the ones on the side of the road are not like that. They're mini
okay.
castles, so it's still pretty cool though.
That's what's up. Yeah, so we got
Still
a lot
pretty
of
cool.
castles here in the US apparently. Going the
Right,
whole
we got a lot of
castling
castles
adventure.
too. Right.
We'll put the link up. We'll
They were
put the
built in
link.
the 70s.
Right. Like people need that was surprising though. I didn't realize New York had so many. You don't hear about that when people talk about New York. You don't hear about the castles of New York. And I would think that would be something that you would talk about because you'd want to go there. Like I'd go to New York to see the castles before I'd go there to walk around Times Square.
Well, you know what? Some like where you think about like if you saw Hamilton or like where he lived and where that was all uptown. That was like Harlem.
Oh.
Some of those areas. So I don't know if like if the if they're still there, some stuff if it's still there, if it got turned into something else,
Right.
you know. So,
Like a
but
lot
there's
of
a
these buildings, I'll put the link up on. You'll see the link in our post once we put it up. But a lot of these castles, especially the ones in New York, I would say, are really still well maintained and well kept. So they're still around.
yeah, there's a show I'm looking for right now. It's on HBO. It's The Gilded Age.
Mm.
So yeah, there's a show on right now. So you kind of see those, wealthy, ultra wealthy people in the homes that they lived in. I think it's in season 2 or something like that. So yeah. What else? Oh, you froze again.
Am I?
No, there. Okay, there you are.
Okay, there we go.
Um, how many people? Let's talk about these. If you want to talk about ineffective people, how many people are? How many people are in the running to be the House Speaker, and how many of them didn't want to sign off on the legitimacy of a Biden's win? They How many? I think there's like maybe 12, 13 total, and at least 7 of those people said that he didn't win.
Yeah, there are 9 Republicans, just 9 Republicans right now running for Speaker of the House.
Okay, there's only 9 now. Or they whittled it down to 9 now.
Yeah, they willed it. They
Okay.
willed it down
Yeah, it's like
to the to the
the tallest
best
midget.
9. We got
Tallest
the
midget.
best 9 right now.
I'm sorry, not midget. I'm sorry, short person.
Oh, we can't say midget.
I don't think no, because it's derogatory term. You can't say midget, little person. Or do
Oh
you
my god,
say vertically challenged? I think that's
really?
yeah.
I heard
Hey,
something about
let's look
that
at
when it comes
yeah.
to
Let's say vertically
like homeless people. So you can't call people homeless
unhoused.
anymore.
Yeah, they're unhoused.
Unhoused. Listen, bro. Again,
Yeah.
when I have these conversations, I always think about how timing is everything. Because can
Hmm.
you imagine if Eminem tried to have a career today?
Or if All in the Family was a show, it'd be on one night.
The Jeffersons, like
Hmm.
there's certain things that could only fit into the timetable in which they
Hmm.
fit into. Eminem would be jailed
Oh
and
yeah.
arrested.
Oh
If
yeah.
his first album was to drop today, the way it sounds, my God, that man would be burned at the stake.
Yep.
It was
Yep. Yep.
only or those shows like All in the Family.
We watched.
That's it.
I watched a bunch of All in the Family the other week. I was cracking up because it's so funny. It's still hilarious, but I was like, "Oh
It's
my gosh!"
funny because it's
Like he
so
would never be
wrong.
able to be
Yeah,
on
exactly. You can't say
TV.
this. The way George Jefferson used the words honky and cracker so loosely, the
Oh
way they
my
use the word
gosh.
nigger, the way they use the
Mhm.
word nigger on the TV in the 70s is
Mhm.
absolutely amazing to me. Like they did not give a fuck. They were like, yo,
No.
you can say nigger, you can say nigger, you can say
You get a nigger. You get a nigger.
everybody can say it.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody can say it. That is. Did you ever watch the Boondocks, the cartoon?
No. Well, yeah, I'm sure I've seen it before at least once. I'm aware of what it's about.
All right, so there was an episode um where the teacher is talking about um how one of the characters says the word nigger
Okay.
over and over and
Oh my
over and over
gosh.
and over again. And the teacher is like a white teacher, right?
Uh-huh. Oh, I
And
could oh gosh. Okay. Okay. Let me tell you
but
something.
what's crazy is they based that scene off of a real ass white teacher
That happened at my kid's
from
school. Was it my kid's school?
I don't know, but the teacher is like trying to explain to everyone how his students say nigga so much that he can say nigga. And like there's this whole interview with him just going off saying nigga over and over and over and
That had to have
over
been my
again.
kid's school last school year. There was a white kid, a black kid who called a white kid, said nigga, like nigga.
Hmm.
Like, no, no, nigga, whatever. And the
Yeah.
teacher said, this is what was he, a physics teacher? He said, don't say nigger. Don't
Mm.
say nigger. Don't say nigga. Or he may have said nigga. I don't know if he said hard R or whatever. He said it over and over. It was like he had Tourette's.
He was just trying to get out of the system. He said it the first time, and he was
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh, that felt good."
So they did nothing. So the principal did nothing. The kids were
What?
outraged, right? So the kids were outraged. I think a parent, like when somebody went home and told their mom, the mom wrote an email to the principal and she denied it. When nothing happened to the teacher, the kids they went ham. They were like walking out of classes. They were just, just they were so pissed. And then they put him on administrative duty
Mm.
for several months. He came back. He came back, guns a blazing.
Did he say it again?
He didn't say a nigga, but he said F. He said faggot.
Oh,
Girl's like, he
wow.
said the F word. I said, what? He said fuck. She's like,
He's like,
no.
no, that's okay.
But I said, he said that. Who even says that? I'm like,
Yo,
that's so
he was like, I'm
bizarre.
saying
Yeah, he was
everything.
like, well,
He was,
yeah, he said that, and then he said
is
he did something else.
is he a white guy?
Yeah, he's fired. He got
Uh,
fired.
he was like,
He
how dare you? How dare you try to tell me what to
he said,
say?
hold my beer.
Yeah, watch it. Oh, you gonna bring me back? Watch this.
They brought his yeah. I'm like, there must be something wrong with him.
Hey, he was like, I took on the black folks in one. Now I'm about to go take on the
Yeah, because
LGBTQ
he came
community.
back. Yeah.
Let's go. He was like, I beat
Mm-hmm.
y'all. He was feeling good by himself. It was like in boxing and video games, you beat stage one. Now you get to the boss in stage two. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
It's like if you had a Wii and you boxed in the Wii and you thought you were gonna be be a real boxer. I could
oh my
box on the Wii,
god.
so or
You're like, nah,
I can play
buddy.
tennis in the Wii, so that translates to
It's
real
one
tennis.
thing. It's one thing to have your little scrimmage with the little black community and their little black kids. But you gonna come and try to take on the LGBTQ community. That's a whole nother fight. They fight differently. They get what
Mm-hmm.
they want. And you're not just gonna talk crazy. Yes, Kanye and Dave Chappelle, maybe the only two people who've ever come up against the LGBTQ community and walked away.
Well, not unscathed, but what
Not unscathed, but they walked away clean. Dave
I don't
Chappelle still
remember
has
what
his career.
I don't know what Kanye. I don't know what he did. I remember what I never know Dave Chappelle with the last big stand
Trans.
up. Yeah,
Yeah, when you talk about the trans community or whatever.
right. But but he was talking about the double standard. That's what people
Exactly. Like
failed
he
to.
does it in
Yeah,
such a way that you can't really like come at him.
right. Uh oh, are you talking?
No, I am
Okay. I'm
myself.
like, it's happening again.
Yeah, no, we should be good to go. I
Okay.
think so. Yeah.
Um. Anyway, did you So what was the Kanye thing? I don't remember what he did. Or we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah. Just Kanye.
Being Kanye.
Yeah. They were just saying that with his whole Sunday service Christian choir thing
Mm-hmm.
that he features a lot of anti LGBTQ rights fanatics, and
Oh.
that his Sunday service choir is laden with them and whatnot, and you know, basically
Oh.
death by association, like because of all these religious folks he has around him. All these religious folks are very anti-LGBTQ,
The
LGBTQ
yeah.
or
Okay.
whatnot, and so therefore he's like the ringleader of them.
Whatever. Okay. Um. So we didn't talk about these idiots, but I know that we were crunch. We had a time
Mhm.
constraint today, right? So what do we have coming up?
Talk about these folks running for the House in more detail. We can talk about the
Because I'm
job
sure it
market.
will still be going on
Oh,
next week.
definitely. We're going to talk about what it's like to really be out here in the job market, what the job market really looks like, what it feels like,
Mm-hmm.
how to survive the job market in the way it is right now and whatnot, and how to lean into your hustles and just any other random shit that we decide to
Any other
reveal onto
random
you.
shit?
Any other
I know, because
random shit.
sometimes it just leads wherever the
Yeah.
conversation goes.
Who
So
knows? This episode would turn into the castle episode.
the what?
The castle episode.
Oh, I'm like, that motherfucker sat and talked about all the castles
The
in
castle.
the U.S. And yeah, don't be confused. This is not like a conference call for Pitt. I went to Pitt, so I didn't feel like
Oh yeah.
fighting with my screen and stuff. So I was like, Shane was like, "What about your
It's
alma
homecoming
mater?"
season. She
So
just
I was like,
repping. It's
"Okay, yeah." I
homecoming
didn't get to go
season.
last week, so because I was was it late? Yeah, because my kids had homecoming, so I had to stay to get them dressed. So
There you
otherwise,
go.
they wouldn't have been able to manage without me. So anyway, Where can they find us? Where can the people find us, Shane?
Man, where can you find? You can find us out here in these streets, running around trying to, make money. And if we can't see us out here in these streets, you you can find us on the Twitter. We out here on that. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on all major podcast streaming platforms. You can find us on your Facebooks, your IG as well. We out here. If you don't know how to find us, or you too lazy to text type us in, you can go ahead and ask Siri
Or
or
Google.
ask Alexa or
Or
Google.
Google,
Ask
yeah.
ask any of them AI motherfuckers. They all know who we
Yeah,
are.
right.
You know what I
They
mean?
get
Like
down. We
they
fuck
all
with
get
them.
down. We fuck with the AIs. You know what I'm saying? We out in these streets hanging out with AI, taking shots and shit. You know what I'm saying? So ask them where we at. They can tell you. They can tell you. We out here. Whatever. So lock into our Patreon. We can have a little bit more uncensored conversations. We can name names, companies, and
More
persons
uncensored.
who
We're like, can you
actually
get more uncensored?
yeah, we can get more uncensored. You know what I mean? We can violate some NDAs on our Patreon a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh,
how
right.
us go see us over there and find out the real tea. Find out which companies are really out here doing you dirty. Find out what's really going on in our marriages. Find out how you really survive work-life balances and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, is there really such thing as
Oh
work-life
yeah,
balance?
our
Mhm.
survival series.
Our survival series. How to
God.
survive being married in the corporate America all at the same
Oh
time. One of them
gosh.
got to go. Pick one.
Right.
Pick one.
Like
You know,
like
you
sleep with
can't have
Mary
them both.
Kill.
You can't have them both, homie. You can't have them both. Fuck what they told you. The fairy tale is
Oh
fake. You got
gosh.
to pick one.
Mm-mm-mm. All right
Yeah, it's
then.
funny.
Well, it's been great talking with you, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, Shane.
Peace.